everyone, it's Cindy です。カナダトロント郊外から発信しています。このチャンネルでは日本ではあまりお目にかかれないような話題やニュースを中心にお届けしています。
Recent military World Games in Wuhan, China of all places, the Chinese state propaganda videos from the opening ceremony proudly showed the Canadian Armed Forces doing something that will make you sick. So sick that the Canadian mainstream media would never dare show you this. So brace yourselves. The Canadian soldiers that were there in Wuhan broke step with our allies, the United States, France, and proudly saluted the communist dictator Xi Jinping as they marched past him. Saluting in the military is the show of deference and respect. Do you think the despotic menace Xi Jinping is worthy of deference and respect from Canada's valiant armed forces, no less? If not, well, you're in line with our allies. They refused to salute him as Jinping sat observing the pageantry of the official opening of the 7th CISM Military World Games. The United States, Germany, South Korea, Finland, France, Greece, and even Iran refused to salute him. Now that says something. But then came the military athletes from the North Korean contingent. As they marched past the Communist President of China, the stadium of Chinese nationals broke out in cheers, in roaring applause, as the recluse nation saluted their closest ally, China. Canada honored the Chinese tyrant in the exact same manner as the North Koreans. They marched synchronized and proud to show admiration and respect for their Chinese hosts in a way that was unmatched by any military contingent other than the Chinese and the Democratic People's Republic of Korea themselves. The United States, in contrast, were walking unenthusiastically at best, and one member even blew a bubble of chewing gum while being featured on the Chinese state cameras. Others took cell phone selfies, chatted, and laughed, probably at the sheer hilarity of the Chinese propaganda that they were taking part in. For Canada, this appeared to be the most important military display of their lives. Justin Trudeau probably drilled that into them well ahead of time. For some context, I'll show you how the Canadian military defines the official salutes of the Canadian Armed Forces, and it will help you understand why our allies refuse to salute a man who is currently interning over 1 million helpless Uyghurs in the Xinjiang province. The hand salute is the personal salute of officers and other ranks. It is a symbolic movement, having several meanings. It is a greeting. It is a mark of mutual respect, trust, and confidence. It is an act of courtesy and good manners. It is a mark of loyalty. Understanding the significance of the gesture, can you think of any reason why we, as the nation of Canada, would be saluting a hostile despot from China? Well, it's because our Prime Minister is Justin Trudeau. It reminds me of the 1936 Olympic Games in Germany, when nations flocked to the Nazi-run state, unaware of the Holocaust that was about to take place. The only difference now is that we know China is actively running concentration camps, but Canada, at least Justin Trudeau, doesn't seem to mind. In fact, that is exactly what the senior Canadian Armed Forces soldier told me when they brought this to my attention. The soldier thought this was such a grave affront to the dignity of Canada's servicemen and women that it needed to be brought to light. And I completely agree. Did you even know that Canada had a military contingent in Wuhan? Don't worry, it's understandable if you didn't. No Canadian media, except for Rebel News, has even reported on this, in an attempt to help Justin Trudeau. See, China is Justin Trudeau's weak spot, and while media in Canada is getting paid off by Justin Trudeau, they will do whatever they can to cover his weak spot up for him. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if the order to salute the world's greatest menace came right from Trudeau's office itself. You know as well as I do, Justin Trudeau thrives on bending over for Xi Jinping. That is why he invited the Chinese military to Canada to do cold weather warfare training. That is why, time and time again, he shirks our Western allegiances in favor of his good buddy, President Xi Jinping.